Hey everyone, Andrew Chelman here with a workflow demonstration video using the Komplete Kontrol S-Series keyboards and Maschine. So I'm working with the Kontrol S49, my Maschine Mikro, and the Maschine software running in standalone. So first of all, let's talk about what we actually need to make these work. In terms of software, I'm pretty sure the only thing you need is the Maschine 2.2 update. So with all that said, let's go ahead and look at the actual workflow. Let's see how these work together. So as usual, I think the best way to show this is with a project. So I'll be working on a sort of West Coast flavored project using the Marble Rims Maschine expansion. So let's go ahead and take a look here. First of all, I'm working in an empty group and it's telling me to press browse. And that's because nothing is actually loaded up. So let's go ahead and follow the instructions, press browse and see what happens. Well, on the keyboard, nothing actually changes. It's not like the Maschine hardware where you actually have the browser on the hardware. In this case, the browser is part of your computer screen. So let's go ahead and take a look there. I'm going to, go press the back button to get the whole way back to the top. And at the very top, we have our usual overall categories. So Maschine projects, groups, sounds, and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and select a group, press down there, and then I can select a different product here, a specific product. So I'll select Marble Rims, load that up, and then just scroll down to the list like we're familiar with and load down one of these kits. So here we go. We have a drum kit loaded up, and we can see that our keyboard is now reflecting some changes. So we have, we're able to play the notes, and we can also see that our screens here and our knobs are automatically mapped to the parameters in Maschine. So this is actually going to the sampler, which is the first plugin in the effects chain. So we have our polyphony settings, our tune, everything that we're familiar with seeing. So that's really nice that everything is automatically there. So let's go ahead and start recording some things here. So we have the options in this left side of the controller here. We have play and record, as well as the shift functions, which open up count in and restart. So it's really nice. Those are going to be the exact same things that we're used to from the Maschine. Very nice that those carry over, just what we're familiar with. So the first thing I'll do is just load up a pattern. If you start recording from the keyboard, it's going to automatically insert a pattern of default length. But if you want to change that like I do right now, you'll have to use either the Maschine hardware or your computer. So I'll do that really quickly. Now once I have a pattern loaded up, I can go ahead and use the shift and record button to start recording. Make sure I'm on the correct octave there, and we can go ahead and record. Now I'm going to move on to another sound, and to scroll through different sounds, we can use the up and down arrows here, and you can see that the Maschine is actually showing those different highlighted pads. So I go ahead and select one of these here. I'll work with that and record that in. Like I said, it's going to show you the different sounds on the Maschine hardware, and you can also look right here in this screen to tell you what the actual sound is. So it's going to give you the name of it, and it's also going to give you the number. So group B1, sound 4, sound 5, sound 6, and so on. So pretty nice there. You really know where you're working with. Everything keeps you updated. So we have this loaded up here. Let's go ahead and work with some more sounds. I'm going to select my hi-hat, and I want to show you how to use the arpeggio feature to sort of mimic the note repeat option in Maschine. So I'll go ahead and enable it by pressing the button and then getting to the option menu with the shift button here. And now I have the same options that we're used to seeing in the 2.2 update. So all these things that we're familiar with, and I'm just going to record a straight eighth note pattern here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that using the arpeggio feature. And once I have that, I'll turn off the ARP and go ahead and just throw in some more sounds here. And just sort of fill this out a little bit. So this is pretty basic, but I think I'm done with the drums here. Just a little simple loop here that we can sort of use as the background of our track. So now that I'm done with the drums, I want to go ahead and move on to instruments. So to do that, I want to create a new group. And I'm going to hold down the shift button here and then press the down arrow, and that is going to load up an empty group. We're going to go back to that empty group screen that we're familiar with seeing. So we have this. Let's go back into the browser. Let's go to the beginning and go over to Instruments, to Marble Rims, and then scroll all the way down to the West Coast Piano. Load this up. And so I'm going to use the scale option here. I'll turn this on, go into the options with the shift button, turn my chord over to harmonic, and then turn this to octave. So this is just going to let me record an octave piano here, and I can go ahead and add that in. Oh, I got to create my pattern like I did in the software. And now that's set, I can go ahead and record. So the cool thing is that with the controller working in Maschine, it's going to record the actual notes when you use the arpeggio and the scale option, scale and chords. I think when you're using it with the Komplete Kontrol plugin, it's only going to record like that basic note, but when you're working in Maschine, it's going to give you all those notes. Really nice because you can actually see them sequenced in. So we have this set up. Let's go ahead and add another sound. I'll go ahead and just scroll down, go back into the browser, and let's go to some bass here. Where is the one I want to work with? So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I don't think I can change the volume from the keyboard. Let's do that in the software. And record this in as well. So I'm just going to add some more sounds just so you see how easy it is. I'll go ahead, select a new one, go to Browse. Let's find some staccato strings and record. The cool thing that you can do is actually switch between the effects in your effects chain. So we're working with the sampler. This is going to be the first effect, and you can use the arrows to scroll between different effects. So if I have an additional effect, so this preset came with the reverb, so I can select that and then go ahead and exit out of that, and we can see that that we have our options for that other plugin. So here's our reverb controls, and we can mess around with those as much as we want. Really nice that you have full control over all your sounds, all your groups, and all the effects that you have in your effects chain. So that is sounding pretty good. Maybe I'll just add one more sound, maybe a cool lead. Let's go ahead and go down to a new one, browse, and go ahead and throw in, which is the one I like. It's called like, yeah, here we go. So I'm not sure if you can see the mod wheel in the frame of the camera, but I'm playing around with the touch strips, and that gives me cool control over both the little vibrato effect and the pitch shift. So I can just play around with this. So without doubt, I didn't cover everything there is to talk about with this keyboard, but I just wanted to give sort of a general idea of what it's like to work with the keyboard in Maschine. As for some overall comments on the quality of the keyboard, the keybed itself is very fun to play. I like the action of the keys, and the keyboard is heavy, feels like it's well made, and it's going to stand up to a lot of playing. Now granted, the keyboard is more expensive than other similarly spec'd ones, but I think if the tight integration is something that you think you'll benefit from, this might be something to consider. So with that said, I think that finishes up this video. I hope it sheds some light on the integration of the keyboard and Maschine, and also just some overall qualities of the instrument. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I appreciate the support, and I will see you on the next video.